Okay, so we are currently on the floor of my bedroom where I'm gonna try to make pants. So I have in my possession McCall's pattern from 1967, and I also have $70 worth of corduroy fabric that I got at the fabric store today. So I'm just gonna kind of go for it, and whatever kind of comes up will come up. I'm also not going to edit the way that I do this. Physically, like in my body, the way I'm doing this is just the way that I do it. So, yeah. I know like with corduroy and with velvet fabrics with a pile, you have to do it all one way. I'm going to see what I can do. I also don't have a lot of space in this house. So, you know, we're going to do our best. See, like I see that and I'm like, I should go iron this, but I don't know how to iron corduroy, so Jesus. No, I need to, because this is like major. Change of plan. We're gonna try to iron this. I'm gonna have to Google it, but I'm gonna try my best. I have successfully turned all 3 yards inside out, and I think that's just the way that you have to do it. So I have this. And I'm gonna kind of try to be very sparing with it. So I'm just gonna kind of look for like here, like places that need to be ironed and do it that way. I'm not gonna have the camera on because I'm definitely going to knock it off the table if I try to push the fabric up that way, so. Yeah, this is what we're gonna work with. Yeah, so I'm gonna start pinning the pattern pieces down, and okay. Why'd I get so much? Is this a seam allowance? Okay, yes. I'm gonna start down here. This is not a professional operation. This is me on my bedroom floor. I was having thoughts yesterday, which is always dangerous, about like, well, long story short, one of the girlies, the ones that are watching these videos, like one of the 3 people, messaged me, and it was a really nice message on Tumblr talking about my little like explanation of what I make happy that I put out like last week. And it was really nice and thoughtful, and they said, like it reminded them of like an interview that he gave, which is awesome. That is exactly what I'm looking for, because it means I'm kind of onto something. But they said it was like an interview, and they sent me the link, and I watched like 5 minutes of it. I'm sorry, I did not finish it because I haven't finished it yet, because I'm busy. But and it was like saying like, oh, it's a joke, but then it's like completely serious, and it shifts kind of depending on what the audience thinks, because there's always like a kind of fallback for that framing of comedy, right? So if you're doing something sincere but you can mask it as comedy, do that, because then if someone gets mad at you for trying to be sincere, you can always just tell them, no, you got the wrong framing, it was actually just all a joke. But I would argue that in situations like that, where you have a performer who's trying to be genuine, what I want to say, and stay with me here, is that they can experience the act of performing in their own mind as simultaneously 100% real and 100% fake. Just as 2 separate personas that the piece was performed through. So it's this one person, right, this performer, who is one person. But while they're performing, they are embodying 2 different personas. And so one of those personas is 100% genuine, and one is 100% joking. So that's kind of I would argue that it is possible to be both at the same time. And that's kind of all I've been thinking about. It takes me a while to think. And you could also call it true and false. Like one is 100% true and one is 100% false. Because real and fake and true and false in what I'm trying to do are basically the same thing. Yeah. Okay, so this is the back. Now I need 2 of the front, which I'm hoping will just go right here. But, you know, with my luck. Oh, thank God. I've been thinking a lot about Monkeys Season 2, Episode 17, The Monkeys Watch Their Feet, which is the one with the aliens. It's like a McCarthyism episode, but it's like anti-McCarthyism. And it starts talking about Vietnam. And it's like, who could have started the war? It couldn't have been us. We're not doing the fighting. It must have been the kids. And I thought that was insane. Like, that is so left-wing that it doesn't seem like it should have been aired on 1960s American television, but it was. And you know why? Is because it was couched in the, like, framing of a comedy show. Because The Monkeys is a comedy, okay? It's not political commentary, which means that they can get away with a lot more political commentary than a political commentary show could. So comedy, as a genre, really hides a multitude of sins. It's like a good one because comedians historically, like I'm thinking about like court jesters, have kind of been able to get away with a lot because of the comedy framing. So, how's that for making a connection, huh? Now this has a deeper meaning, and now I am satisfied that this isn't completely stupid. Let's just pretend that that looks respectable. Okay. Oh, you can't even see. It looks great. These pieces for the waistband. No, I have to. You didn't see me just debate whether or not I needed a waistband for pants. Okay, should do. Okay, so I definitely got way too much fabric. That's fine. Yeah, so now we're on the other side of the room. And I am still not in frame. Here, it can be like over the shoulder, like, wow, it can be like you're like inside my head. Yeah, I don't know. Zach Stone is gonna be famous. Okay. Once I start singing the Zach Stone theme song, it's time to pack it up for the day. Let me scoot back into frame here. So I have all the pieces cut out. And I'm probably gonna have to hook up my sewing machine because we moved like a few months ago now and I have not plugged it in. And I was gonna be like, I'll just hand sew it like point of pride type thing, but this is corduroy and I'm not gonna hand sew corduroy because I value my hands. So, yeah, check back in. Okay, so my camera died last night and I got mad and I just kind of did most of the rest of it. So this is what I have so far for the pants. I've done like the sides, the outer sides, and I need to fell them. So I'm gonna do that by hand off camera because I don't want to film myself for 17 hours and then have to like edit that into something interesting to look at. The inseam is completely unfinished. So I need to do that too, and I will just do that and then fell it all by hand, and then I'll get back to you when they're done, because that's gonna kind of just be a lot of handwork, and I don't really have anything else to say. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours of hand sewing and watching old Bernadette Banner videos, and so I have all of the inside seams finished on these pants. So what I need to do next is hem the bottom, the pant leg cuff thingies. The bottom of the pants. There's a word for it and I don't know it right now. And I need to finish the waistband, which I have a waistband, like band part already made up. So what I'm gonna do is just fold this top edge over, sew it down, and then whip stitch that to the waistband. That's a very old thing to do, so I prefer to do that. That's kind of just the way I work. I'm gonna try to do more of this type of video where I do like a craft thing but then talk about like psychology or linguistics or something, because that's my area, is the psychology of linguistics, quite literally. So I enjoy talking about that, and let me know if you guys enjoy hearing about that. I think it would be interesting. Like, I was saying something earlier about like experiencing personas as different levels of real, or like simultaneously having two personas be entirely real, which is true. Like right now, for example, I am a video presenter, right? And I am 100% aware that that is something that I'm doing with my body as like a character, a persona, right? So I'm putting on an act, but barely. And then at the same time, I am myself as someone who makes pants in their free time occasionally, you know? And someone who talks about linguistics to an obnoxious degree. So I'm performing those two things at the same time. I am myself as a presenter and myself as a casual chat buddy, you know? And that's kind of, the difference between those two is very small. It's not like, you know, famous comedian and philosopher, for example, like two separate, very distinct categories. And it's not like television show and band, you know? But so these are the pants. I don't know if you can see that. This is a very small house, so I don't know if you can see all of them, but they're just kind of straight leg down to the floor. Yeah, look pretty cute. I closed them with a zipper here and then this little button. Here we are. I had an idea, and I think I'm gonna make a Tumblr post about it to see if anyone's interested. But I had an idea for kind of like to tide me over while the big project is like on hiatus, because I need to, it's not on hiatus, it's just on production hiatus, because I'm not going to be putting anything out while I write part 4, because part 3 is done. I need to film that probably today. That'll be pretty quick compared to part 2. And then part 4 is season 2. So it's going to be part 2, same thing. So that's going to be kind of a long time coming, but not a long time, but like a month or 2 coming. So in the meantime, just so that I don't lose myself completely and lose my audience completely, I have an idea that I'm gonna put to the Tumblr girlies.